Okay, hello everyone. You are welcome to today's lesson. And in today's lesson, we are going to continue with our lesson or the lesson statistics. Okay, so from the previous meeting, we looked at how to draw the cumulative frequency curve, which is also known as the ogive. So first of all, we need a cumulative frequency table before we can get that of what the curve was drawn. Okay, and in our last meeting, we looked at how to find the deciles, the quartiles, then the percentiles. Okay, we equally went through how to find the maybe your category. If I'm looking at the number of students who scored less than, okay, so we looked at less than situation, maybe less than 20 marks, how to deal with that. We said less than, anytime you see less than, which is also the same as what? At most. Okay, when you get your reading becomes the answer. We also looked at more than, which we realized that the same as what? At least. Okay, so if you say more than 50, okay, marks, those who scored more than 50 marks, okay, or those who scored at least 50 marks, we said we are supposed to go and read, start from the 50 mark, okay, read to get the number, and then reading there in terms of the number will not be what you are looking for. You subtract that reading from the total. Okay, and we also looked at between, okay, scores between two, okay, marks. So maybe between 30 and 50. And we said you have to, okay, read, get the number for the 30, get the number for the 50 reading, then you find the difference. However, in today's meeting, we are going to look at a situation where maybe you'll be asked to find the number of students who, okay, pass, if the pass mark is given, the number of students who failed, if the pass mark is also given. Okay, then when maybe you are told to find the pass mark and you are given the number who failed, the number who passed, and what have you, another category of question, and I will walk you through what you need to know. Okay, exactly what you need to know to make your work very easy and simple, okay, to deal with. So let's look at this question. So what I've said, it means, okay, the B here will not be of interest to me, the question B. So that one you will try. Okay, remember we did the semi-interquartile, we did the quartiles, and we said semi-interquartile would be the upper quartile minus the lower quartile reading all over what 2. So please, okay, take note of that. And the fourth decile will be, okay, 4/10 sigma FTH. When you get that, you go and read. Exactly what you have there will be. Okay, and anytime you are getting your reading in terms of numbers, please take note. I've told you, if you get decimal, always approximate to the nearest whole number. Okay, because the number of people cannot be in terms of decimal. Take note of that. And the 80th percentile will be 80/100 per sigma F. And here our sigma F will be 50 because you are told that you are dealing with what? 50. So quickly, let's go and look at what our questions of interest, which will be C up to what? Up to E. C up to E. Okay, so already I have constructed the frequency distribution table as well as what drawn the curve. So this is what you have. So you know this is how your frequency distribution table should look like. First of all, your 2 columns, the marks, okay, and your frequency must be, okay, constructed. So this will be the 2 columns that you add. Because you are dealing with marks, you write marks less than, or you can even write upper boundaries, it's the same. Okay, I've told you. So marks less than, and all the values here, you can see that they are the upper boundaries of the corresponding classes. So take note of that. And the cumulative frequency, remember I said you start with the first value. Okay, then you keep on adding. So this plus that will give you 5. When you get 5, you come and add this to 4 plus, so you get 9, and you continue. Your last value should be the same as your total frequency. If you get anything more, anything less, go back and check. Okay, so with that, we are able to, okay, draw the cumulative frequency curve. Okay, and please take notes. We need to draw our x-axis, which is drawn, okay, and your y-axis. And I've told you, immediately you draw the x and y, don't forget to label it. So x-axis when drawn, label it. Y-axis when drawn, label it as well. Because no matter how beautiful your graph is, if the axes are not labeled, everything will be zero. Take note of that. Okay, so at this point, we know, okay, we are going to indicate or calibrate with these values on what? On the x-axis. So if I count, I'm going to get, I think, 10 of them. So usually if you start from here, you end here, which will be 10. You can take the 10. But you can see that I've told you that I usually want to start at this point. So that's what I did. So this becomes my 9.5. Okay, so in terms of the x-axis, the first one is 9. But in terms of the y-axis, the first value here, okay, at the point of intersection is what? 0. It still remains 0. That's why I didn't write it there. If it's any other value, I've told you. So your 9.5 gives you 2. So you go and what? And read 2. Okay, then you do same. Your 19.5 will give you, okay, 5. As for the drawing of the cumulative, okay, curve, we are all experts now, or should be experts. So you are going to plot this and that, okay, and that will give you this curve. You join with your free hand. So I had this beautiful what curve. And every graph is supposed to have a title, okay, and a scale. I realized that when I was using the pencil, I said, oh, the pencil will not come out if I capture and put it here and display it here. Okay, but at least we can see. So that's why along the line, I decided to use red pen. Okay, so take note. But however, the grid area, you don't use ink there. Everything must be in pencil. So your scale for the x-axis, you know, I've told you, it will always be, okay, your 2 units that you have here, okay, 2 your class size, and here the class size, we have equal class size of 10. So 2 units to 10 for your x, okay, axis, okay, scale. Then y-axis scale, we use what? 2 units to 5, okay, 2 centimeters to 5 units. Okay, 2 centimeters to 10 units on the x, okay. So at this point, you know what to do. Don't forget your title. Don't forget your scale, just as you didn't forget your x and y. These are low-hanging marks. So now let's go to what we were asked to use our graph, okay, to find. So the first one, what are we supposed to? So we are going to look at C. C, we are supposed to use our graph to, our curve to estimate the number of students who failed if the pass mark is what? 45%. If the pass mark is 45%. So because what you are giving here is in terms of percentage, okay, so it means, okay, you are going to start reading on the x-axis. And let me quickly go back. There is something that I omitted intentionally. I've told you that this side, after your calibration below it, right, okay, either max or max less than. And this side, you have to write cumulative frequency. Okay, so more or less, okay, label this side and label this side as well. Okay, so now back to what I was saying. So we're looking at this. This is the situation. We're asked to find, okay, we're given 45%. Okay, the mark is 45%. So once we are asked to find the number, you know your final reason will be on the cumulative frequency as well, because that's where you have the number. Okay, if you're asked to find mark, it should be on the x-axis. Your final reading will be on the x-axis because that's where you have what your marks. So please take notes. Okay, so the nature of the question will tell you where your final reading will be. Okay, so yeah, quickly, let's go and look at, okay, this one. Find the number of students who failed if the pass mark is 45. And here, this is the clue. In terms of, okay, those who failed, okay, and you are giving the pass mark. Anytime the question gives you the number who failed, or the question is asking of the number who failed, and it's connecting it to the pass mark, when you have the pass mark and you go and read, the reading there automatically becomes the answer that you are looking for. Okay, remember, so it's just like the less than situation. Okay, so yeah, this is what we are going to do. We'll go to our graph. Okay, so let's see exactly what we can do here. So let me pick my ruler. Okay, so we said what, 45%. So you come here, okay, and trace where you have your 45. So I have 49 here. So this is 39.5. Okay, so you know, we use, okay, 10. So it's 2 centimeters or that you have there divided by 10. So obviously we are going to get what? Each small box, you know, a size. Okay, so each small box will be your 2 over, well, because we are using 2 centimeters, okay, to 10. Take note of that, 2 centimeters to 10. So we are going to get 2 divided by what? 10, which you all know is going to give us what? 0.2. Is that clear? Okay, so in this case, each small box will give us what? 0.2. So let me see what I have here. I need what? 39 points. Oh, sorry, I need 45. So I know that midway, this is 10. Okay, so 10, if I divide it by 2, okay, I mean from here to here, I'm going to get 5. If I add 5 to, what do you call 39.5, I'm going to get what? 44.5. Okay, so I have to add one more. Okay, so this is going to give me my 45, sort of. Okay, so you equally do same, then you trace. So I am going to trace, okay, this being my 45%. Oops, you trace with the broken line, don't forget. Okay, so at this point, your final reading should be on the, what do you call it, the cumulative frequency errors. So I'm equally going to do same. So this is what I have. Okay, I've told you to space up. So you come and read. Okay, so this one is 2. Okay, will give us what? 1. Okay, so we have what? This is 5, 10, 15, 20. So that is going to give us 21. Okay, so the number will be 21. Okay, so in this case, remember we are looking for question. Let me see which question number we're solving. We should have written that one first. C. So CI. Okay, so we'll come towards CI. So CI from our graph, okay, we had what? We said 21. So therefore, okay, so we said the number of students, 21, okay, students, okay, failed. Okay, I've told you, if the pass mark is given, okay, your reading that you get for that particular mark will tell you those who failed. Okay, that will be those who failed. So please, okay, take it off. All right, so now we come to, I think it's CI instead. So let me number appropriately. So CI. Now II. Okay, so let's see what the question is seeking. Okay, okay, so all right. So we are looking for the number of students who pass if the pass mark is what, 45. So remember I said that if the question gives you anything connected to the pass mark, your reading that you get there will be in terms of those who failed. So if you want to get those who passed, you subtract it from the total. Or another way, take it to your comfort zone. You know how to find those who failed. So you know the reading here, the 45% reading will give you those who failed. Okay, so once you know those who failed, you know those who passed because you know the entire number of students. So it means if I is answered, indirectly, I is also what? Answered. I guess my point is well made. Okay, so great. So in this case, this is what we are going to do. If we know it's the same as, so you go and read. Okay, unfortunately, this time around, the reading will not be, okay, the value that you get here will not be for those who pass. It will be for those who failed. So if you want to get those who pass, it will be upwards. And it will be this distance from here to here, from here to here. And how do you get that? You subtract the reading here, a value here from this. So in this case, okay, we are going to get number. So in this case, number pass. So I'm going to get therefore, okay, number, okay, who passed, or the number passed will be equal to my reading there, which is what? Okay, 21. I subtract it from the total frequency. So it will be 50 minus what? 21, which I know will give us what? Okay, so we are going to get what? Is it 29? Okay, so that will give us what? 29. Okay, so 29, okay, obviously, okay, passed. So for the past, take notes. Okay, get it from those who failed. You know that those who failed, if you trace along that pass mark that you are giving, whatever you get there will be for those who what? Who failed. So once you know those who failed, you subtract it from the total. As simple as that. Okay, so we are done with CI and II. Okay, so let's go and look at what that of what the D. Okay, so quickly, D, what do we have? Okay, we are supposed to use our curve to find the pass mark if 30 students failed. Pass mark if 30 students failed. Okay, so we need to go and find the pass mark. Even this question, I can put it this way. Okay, once I know this particular one, the one that we just did, where is it? Okay, this particular one, that gave us 21. So I can say that, okay, find the pass mark if 21 students failed. So in that case, this is what will be, assuming that was the question. So you come to, because you are looking for the mark, and you've been given the number, okay, who failed. Come and read, okay, get your 21, read, you know your final reading. So if you get your 21 and you come and read, that mark that you have there will give you your pass mark. So it means anything that has to do with, everything to do with what? The pass mark, the distinction, everything, it will come directly from those who failed, those who didn't get the distinction. So anything in terms of pass mark, please take note. The direct reading, which would be what you are looking for, would be in terms of the negative, which is those who failed. Okay, so that is all about it. So all that we are going to do, this is what we are going to play with. So let's go back to what we were doing. That was just by the way. So you have what? You find a pass mark if 30 students failed. So you know, I need to go and look at where I have 30. So I'm going to continue from here. So 30, this is, okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So if 30 students fail, then it means I'm going to trace here. I'm looking for pass marks. So I know from the beginning that my final reading will be on the x-axis, which is my mark, okay, axis. So I'm going to trace. And when you are tracing, you know, working lines. Okay, but you space up. So my final reading is going to be here. Okay, so take note of that. So we are going to continue from here with broken lines. Oops. Okay, so we get this. Oops, let me do the needful. Okay. 1. Okay, so space up. Oops, don't move. Okay, I need you right there. Okay, so this cannot happen to you because you know you will be dealing with, you will be holding it. Okay, so, okay, I've spaced out. That's my broken line. Okay, so in this case, I know. Okay, remember we said each small box will be, okay, 0 points. Okay, so in this case, I have 2 boxes. Okay, so we know what we are supposed to get. So indirectly, let me say this will be my 50.5. Okay, so 50.5. So I'm going to get what? More or less. So my D, okay, I. Okay, so remember you said you are finding the pass mark. So therefore, okay, the pass mark. Okay, like I always say, okay, write the math first, followed by, okay, the English. Okay, so let me equally confirm to that, okay, advice. So I'll write therefore, write the math, the value that you had. So therefore, we said we have 50.5. So 50.5%, okay, is equal to the pass mark. I guess my point is well made. Okay, so that will be it. Then you come to II. Okay. Okay, so let's see. But that one, I don't think maybe you can conclude straight away. You have to do a little because that one was in terms of not those who, okay, failed, but rather those who passed. So, okay, so we are told that the pass mark if 20 students was passed. Okay, so anytime you are looking for the pass mark, remember I said, if you want to get the exact pass mark, then use the negative, which will be those who, okay, failed. So if you are giving those who passed, you should know those who got failed. So with this one, you are going to do a bit of what work before you can get the exact reading. And the work will basically be you moving from those who failed, those who passed to those who failed for you to get the exact reading. Okay, and indirectly it will be. So in this case, once I'm giving those who failed, okay, sorry, who passed, I'm going to work with that. Okay, so I will write, okay, oops. Okay, so I'm going to write this. So if 20, okay, failed, okay, then this implies that, okay, 30, okay, so if 20 passed, forgive me, because that was what the question said, it said 20 passed. Okay, or am I right? Yes, 20 students passed, so that's it. So what I was doing initially was wrong. It's rather 24 passed. So 20 passed. Okay, this implies that how many failed? Obviously, to be 50 minus what? 20, which will give us 30 failed. Okay, so in that case, once you move from the pass to fail, okay, you go and read the 30, and the 30 will give you, okay, and this question is carefully chosen because I don't want us to make the work here, the graph very easy. So if you take it to 30, 30 failed. So it's like it becomes just like the I. So you go and get your 30, you read, your mark that you get becomes the pass mark. Okay, so now I can go and write, therefore, okay, 50.5%, okay, is equal to, remember here, you knew the unit is equal to the pass mark. So anytime you are asked to find the pass mark, make sure, okay, if the information that you are giving is in terms of those who passed, take it to those who failed. If it's in terms of those who failed, then directly you read, and whatever that you get will give you your pass mark. I guess my point is well made. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so we are done with what C, okay, I, and what I. Okay, sorry, we are doing D rather. Okay, we did the C, I, and I. Let me see, we are doing D, forgive me. It's D. So D, we've done I and I. Let's go and look at I, and what? And IV. So I, what are you giving? You are giving, okay, you said, again, you are finding the pass mark. Okay, if 60% of the student failed, okay, before you can find the mark, okay, you need to get it in terms of number, because remember we said that the graph that you have here, your curve that you have here, will be number against what? Against, okay, marks. So if I give you the percentage of the number, indirectly I've given you the number. Okay, so that's all that is. So convert your percentage to the number, and you can see the percentage that you have there is not the percentage for the marks. If you read the question, okay, see, he said, okay, the pass mark, if 60% of the students failed. So instead of giving you the number of students who failed directly, I've given the number of students who failed in terms of percentage. So you will use the percentage to get what? The exact number. Then you go and read. As simple as that. So if you come here, let me see if you can continue here. Okay, so I'm going to move to this, but basically it is going to be the same, okay, the same work that we will do there. So in this case, I'll move on to I. Okay, so I, that is the D. Okay, so we said if 60%, okay, passed, or is it failed? Okay. Okay, then, okay, I can say that this implies that if I want to get the number who failed, okay, who failed, because I need the number to trace, will be equal to 60 over 100, okay, times what? 50. That's 60% of 50. And obviously, that will give you what? Okay, this will cancel that, this will cancel that. So you are going to get what? 30. Is my point well made? Hello. Okay, so if you are with me, then I think we should be okay, good to go. Okay, so we have 30, okay, failed. Okay, so once you get your number in terms of failure, then it means if you go and trace, you will get the pass mark that you are looking for. As simple as that. So it is the same question here, okay, for this particular one. Okay, only that, okay, instead of giving you the number directly, I gave you the number in terms of percentage. So instead of telling you that, here you can see, you were told that 30 students, or find a pass mark if 30 students what failed. So it means you were giving the number of students. Here, you were giving the number of students who failed in terms of percentages. But you can see that when you took this one to the number, okay, use the percentage of the number, you had 30 students fail. So if you go and trace, it will be the same as what we have here. So 30, you trace, whatever that you get there will be the answer that you are looking for. So in this case, I'm going to get, therefore, okay, again, okay, 50.5% is equal to what? The pass mark. Okay, I didn't want us to do, I just want you to get a concept. That's why I am playing with the questions. Okay, all the possible situations that you can encounter. Okay, so that will be it for I. Now let's look for Ivan. Okay, so Ivan, what are we giving? Let's see. So he said, okay, the pass mark, if 40% of the students passed. So you can see that you cannot use the number of students who passed directly to find the pass mark. You have to use, okay, the number of students who failed. So once you are given the number of students who passed in terms of percentage, you know the number of students who failed. Also in terms of percentage, okay, and in that, therefore, the actual. So in this case, you cannot straight away, okay, go and trace. Remember I said, always take it to your failure, the negative before. So if we said, okay, what was the given percentage that, okay, 40% passed. If 40%, okay, passed, okay, then this implies that, okay, 60%, because you need a failure, okay, failed. So now that you know the percentage who failed, you can go and get what? The number who, okay. So I can say that this implies that number, okay, who failed, which will help you trace, okay, will be equal to, remember, we've done the 40%, okay, okay, already. Sorry, the 60% already, and that gave us what? 30. Okay, so now you go and read. So if you read, you come to your conclusion that, okay, 50.5% is equal to what? The pass mark. Okay, take note of that. I guess my point is well made. Okay, very good. Okay, so now let's move on to the next, okay, question. Okay, I think almost we've exhausted all that we need to exhaust. Okay, so here you are told, if 6% of the students had distinction, find the least mark for distinction. So it's the same question put in a different form. Because this one, you were giving those who had the distinction. Please, you cannot use the percentage who had the distinction to trace and get your answer. So once you are told that 6% of the students had distinction, go and use, okay, the percentage that did not get the distinction and use it to get a number and you move. Or you can use the percentage to get the number who had the distinction, okay, and subtract it from the total to get what? The number who did not get a distinction, and you use that number to trace to get your answer. As simple as that. Okay, so thank you very much. Read, okay, more on it. Okay, and if there are any issues after watching the video, please don't hesitate to let me know. So with this, okay, I think we are, okay, insured when it comes to, okay, cumulative frequency curve and maybe statistics in general. Okay, any question at all, you can use whatever we've done so far to deal with it. You just have to think a little more. Okay, so please make sure may send you an assignment, okay, and see whether you'll be able to deal with it the way I want you to, or to measure your level of understanding when it comes to what we've done, okay, today. So thank you very much. If there are any issues, don't hesitate to let me know. Okay, bye-bye.